I don't really go on diets in a noble, cinematic way. I do that thing where I temporarily enter a very formal situationship with vegetables, act like I've changed as a person, and then get emotionally jump-scared by a snack aisle 3 days later. The whole cycle always starts with something small and ridiculous, like my jeans feeling a little tighter and my brain deciding it's personal. Not these pants are snug, but these pants are disrespectful, and they're trying to ruin my confidence in public. That's usually when I grab my phone and search for the most delusional sentence a human can type. Easy diet that works fast without suffering. The internet responds like an enthusiastic liar. Every result is basically promising that if I just drink something green and think positive thoughts, my body will immediately become a well-behaved machine. I buy into it every single time. I sit there genuinely imagining I'm about to become one of those people who casually says they feel lighter when they eat clean, like they're not describing a psychological condition. I do the whole this time is different ritual too, which is bold, because I'm the same person who considers cereal a legitimate dinner option as long as I eat it from a bowl and not directly from the box. So I committed. I went grocery shopping with the kind of optimism that should honestly require a license. I walked into the store acting like I understood nutrition, touching produce like I was about to open a farm-to-table restaurant. I picked up an avocado and nodded at it like it was a coworker. I loaded my cart with the classic new me foods: Greek yogurt, chicken breast, spinach, almonds, all the things that look impressive in a fridge, but immediately become suspicious the second it's time to actually eat them. And because I'm still me, I also threw in a pack of tortillas, just in case, as if I was preparing for a burrito-related emergency that could happen at any moment. Back home, I meal prepped with confidence. I cut vegetables like chopping a bell pepper was the same as turning my life around. I lined up little containers in the fridge and felt like an adult with stability and a budget and matching towels. It's always funny how a fridge full of identical plastic boxes makes you feel morally superior. Like you didn't just spend 15 minutes Googling whether salsa counts as a vegetable. That first diet dinner was the standard grilled chicken, broccoli, and brown rice. Brown rice is one of those foods that makes you realize chewing can be an act of patience. It tastes like someone tried to describe rice to cardboard and then said, "Good enough." But I ate it anyway, because day one of a diet is when you still have hope. Day one is when you drink water and feel proud about it, like hydration is a personality trait. I even went for a walk afterward, feeling weirdly calm, feeling like I'd unlocked the secret of being okay. Then the night happened. Not a dramatic night, just a normal, regular night, which is apparently the most dangerous environment for my diet. I was sitting there doing nothing, and my brain started drifting toward food the way people drift toward texting an ex at 2 a.m. It wasn't hunger. It was boredom and habit and the quiet feeling that I deserved something enjoyable for surviving the day. Ding always tricks you into thinking you're fighting your appetite, when really, you're fighting your own coping mechanisms. At that point, food isn't fuel, it's comfort with a wrapper. Day 2, I tried to level up into the light breakfast lifestyle. I made oatmeal, which looks like it already lost the will to live. I tried to make it feel less sad by adding cinnamon and berries, which helped visually, but spiritually, it still felt like I was eating a consequence. I finished it and realized something deeply offensive. I was still hungry immediately. It's humbling to eat something that's technically a full meal and feel like your stomach only received an email about it. I followed it with a banana, then spent the morning doing that thing where you wander near the fridge like a ghost, opening it every 10 minutes as if it might produce a different outcome. It's like my brain believes the fridge is a slot machine, and if I pull the handle often enough, it'll eventually reward me with tacos. By that evening, I got the classic social test. Someone invited me out to eat. Dieting alone is one thing, but dieting while pretending to be a normal person in society is where it gets humiliating. I went, and of course the restaurant was the kind of place that treats fried food like an art form, where everything is crispy and golden and house-made, like they're describing luxury and not a trap. I ordered a salad, which is a brave choice in a room full of burgers and fries. Mostly because ordering a salad at a place like that feels like announcing, quietly, that you hate yourself a little. The salad arrived looking like it had been assembled with minimal effort and maximum judgment. Just lettuce and sadness with a vague drizzle of something that wanted to be dressing. Meanwhile, fries showed up at the table with a sizzling soundtrack and the kind of smell that feels like nostalgia. Fries don't just smell good, they smell like permission. And that's the real problem. Diets turn normal food into forbidden treasure, which makes it 10 times more powerful. Suddenly, I'm not looking at mozzarella sticks as an appetizer. I'm looking at them like a moral test handed to me by the universe. That was the first real crack, the moment where I told myself I'd just have one. One is never real. One is a story you tell yourself so you can feel in control while you lose it. The justification spiral always arrives fully formed, like my brain has a presentation ready. One becomes two because it would be weird not to share. Two becomes three because I don't want the plate to look uneven. Three becomes four because I'm already here and it's already happening. By the time I get home, I'm full of dairy and regret and still trying to claim it counts as a diet day because I also ate lettuce. It's incredible how quickly I can turn a salad into a legal defense. Day 3 was guilt day, which is when diets become a daily reincarnation ritual. I wake up and decide I'm a new person, even though I'm the same person with the same pantry and the same personality. I got strict. I got clean. I made a plan so rigid it sounded like a workout program for my willpower. Breakfast was eggs and spinach. Lunch was chicken and vegetables. Dinner was salmon and broccoli. And it actually worked for a while, because mornings are when I'm most delusional. Mornings are when I still believe I'm a disciplined adult. The afternoon is where that fantasy goes to die. Around 4 p.m., cravings show up like they just clocked in for their shift. Suddenly, I'm thinking about cookies. Not even fancy cookies, just basic cookies. The kind you can inhale without chewing. I remembered I had diet snacks, grabbed almonds, and immediately realized almonds are not comfort. Almonds are advice. They're the friend who responds to your emotional breakdown with, "Have you tried journaling?" I ate a handful, then another, then enough that I could practically hear a tree somewhere filing a complaint. It's almost impressive how I can overeat something that tastes like responsibility. That's when my brain pulled out its most dangerous phrase. Might as well has never led to a good decision in the history of language. It's never might as well go to bed early. It's always might as well order something I actually enjoy since I already messed up. I opened a delivery app and stared at photos like they were art, zooming in on melted cheese with the focus of someone studying for finals. I compromised by ordering something labeled protein bowl, which is basically diet code for expensive sadness in a cardboard container. I ate it, felt temporarily virtuous, and then found myself back in the kitchen wanting dessert anyway. Because my brain doesn't care about nutrition, it cares about rewards. I stood in front of my pantry and felt that deeply modern emotion of being an adult with groceries and still feeling like there's nothing to eat because nothing is fun. That's when I spotted the emergency chocolate I'd bought for guests. I don't have guests. I have anxiety and optimism. That chocolate was always for me. I ate a couple squares, then more, and at some point I wasn't even thinking about dieting anymore. I was thinking about resource management, like I should leave enough for future me to feel less sad tomorrow. That's my version of self-care, carefully rationing shame. Day 4 was my dramatic reset day, the day where I tried to punish yesterday out of my body. I decided I needed a cleanse, which is just diet language for I regret my choices and I would like to suffer in liquid form. I made a smoothie with spinach, protein powder, and frozen fruit, and it tasted like responsibility blended with regret. I drank it anyway because there's something very human about thinking that if you suffer in a controlled way, you'll be rewarded later. The entire day I kept telling myself I felt great, but I didn't feel great. I felt hollow, like my body had turned into an echo chamber. By evening, I was so hungry I could feel my brain negotiating, offering compromises, promising it wouldn't be messy if I just gave it something. And of course, the universe placed donuts in my path. Someone brought them to work, set the box down in the kitchen like a trap, and everyone did that fake casual thing where they pretend they're not excited. Donuts aren't just food. They're social pressure with frosting. They smell like comfort and childhood and the simple idea that you're allowed to enjoy something. I tried to be strong for a while. I walked past the box like I was above it. Then I walked back like I was being pulled by a magnet. I grabbed one, told myself I'd take a small bite, and ate the entire thing fast enough to embarrass myself. But the weirdest part wasn't even the guilt. The weirdest part was the clarity right after. It hit me that I don't even love donuts that much. I love what they represent when I'm dieting. Permission, the donut becomes a symbol, not a snack. It becomes proof that I'm still a person and not a machine running on spinach. Day 5, I overcompensated the way people always do when they're panicking. I ate only salads, drank only water, walked more, acted like I could outrun my own decisions. It worked a little, but it also made me crave rebellion. Because when you treat eating like a punishment, you start fantasizing about breaking the rules just to feel something. That night, I went to the store just for sparkling water and came out with sparkling water, plus chips, plus cookies, plus something labeled limited edition, because limited edition is basically kryptonite for any attempt at self-control. My brain sees limited edition and starts acting like it's now or never, like my entire identity depends on tasting a seasonal flavor. I ate chips standing up in my kitchen, like an animal that learned how to use a debit card. Day 6 was the emotional crash. It wasn't dramatic. It was just me sitting there thinking, seriously? Why can't I do this? Why is it so hard? What is wrong with me? And then an annoying little insight showed up, quietly, like a therapist in my head. Maybe nothing is wrong with me. Maybe I'm just using food to solve problems that aren't food problems. Because if I'm honest, most of my eating isn't hunger. It's stress, it's boredom, it's loneliness. It's the desire for a tiny moment of comfort in a day that feels loud and demanding. Hardcore dieting doesn't fix any of that. It just adds new pressure on top of it. And now you're stressed and hungry and mad at yourself. Which is basically the perfect recipe for eating a donut in under 10 seconds. So day 7 was different, not because I suddenly became perfect, but because I got tired of turning food into a moral drama. I didn't quit with a big speech. I didn't declare myself a failure. I just adjusted. I ate a normal breakfast, a decent lunch, dinner, and yes, I had dessert. Not as a spiral, not as a punishment, just as a normal part of being a person who eats. And the strange thing is, nothing exploded. The world didn't end. No one showed up to arrest me for having a cookie. That was the real ending of the diet story for me. I realized I'd been treating dieting like a personality test. Like if I could just be disciplined enough, I'd become a better human. But food doesn't make you a better person. It just makes you full. The way you talk to yourself does way more damage than the cookie ever could. So now, my diet is basically me trying to be less weird about it. Some days, I eat great. Some days, I eat like I'm coping. And apparently, that's normal, because I'm a human adult with a phone, a schedule, and emotions. Living in a world where snacks are engineered to make you feel loved for 12 seconds. And if you're also someone who starts a diet on Monday and is emotionally bargaining with cheese by Wednesday, I get it. You're not broken. You're just alive. Food is everywhere. Life is stressful, and your brain will always pick the worst moment to whisper that you deserve a little treat. Maybe you do. Just maybe, not in a way that turns you into a midnight pantry goblin who's trying to justify chips as self-growth. If you made it this far, do the algorithm thing. Like, subscribe, whatever. And seriously, drop your most unhinged diet logic in the comments, because I know you have one. We all do.